Hi and welcome to Life Impact TV. I'm Seán Brickell, the creator of Life Impact TV and the Life Impact System, which are designed to give you both the practical and psychological personal impact skills to help you dare even more than you believe you can to achieve even greater rewards in both your personal and professional lives. Almost every conversation we have is a platform for creating great personal, professional, financial, emotional, social and other opportunities. But so often, too many of us miss out on too many of these opportunities. Why? Well, one of the underlying reasons is when it comes to having conversations and certainly communicating, most people are very passive. They're not proactive. So if you're passive, what you do is wait for someone to talk to you. And if they do come and talk to you, they shape what sort of conversation you have and pretty well where it goes. They take control. So if anything happens, if you create any opportunities, be more by luck than by design. Whereas if you're proactive, you decide who you speak to, when you speak to them, how you speak to them, and what you talk about. You shape the conversation and the path it takes. So, for instance, there are many people, so many people in this world, so many diverse countries, so many diverse cultures and creeds. There is every chance, well, it is a certainty that the people you will meet, you will not always necessarily relate to or understand or find interesting. And by the way, I contend every single person, no matter how dull their job appears, their life appears, even they appear, has something about them, has at least one thing about them that is really interesting. And it is your duty as an effective communicator to bring the best out of them, not for the other way around, that's being passive, about being proactive. And imagine you're talking to somebody, for instance, I love rugby, but there are millions of people around the world, hundreds of millions of people around the world who are afflicted by a passion for football, which I quite frankly don't understand because it bores me. But they're perfectly nice people in most cases. Anyway, so imagine I meet, or you're in my position, you meet someone who is actually really into football. You think, oh my God, why one night out a week and I bump into a football fan? Why can't you love a really decent sport like rugby? But it is what it is. Now, a lot of people say, you're not for me. I'm very politely, or maybe not so politely, sort of slowly drift away or even march off. Hopefully not run for the building yelping for joy because they've escaped. That would just be a little bit random and rude. But if you both veer off at different paths because you discover within the first few seconds that they are into something that you're not really into, you're both missing out on the potential opportunities that could be there. But you won't know that if you don't have the conversations. So, what do? Well, now, I'm not into football. I don't know a huge amount about it. It bores me. I must be honest. So I bump into somebody who's into football. But I know there's probably going to be much more to them than just their passion for football. So what do? Now, it's a technique I call the parallel paths technique, conversation technique, one of 3 in the Life Impact System. All very effective, all very powerful. And by the way, this is not about being techniquey. This is about being natural, about having integrity, about being authentic. And it really is. It's not about being techniquey or bending people to your will in a Machiavellian fashion. It's actually about making the most of the natural, practical, and psychological skills we all have within our armory, our personality armory, but invariably either aren't aware of or don't know how to use. So, parallel paths. Why is it called parallel paths? For the simple reason, it's a very good technique to use or to apply naturally if you're talking to somebody about a subject of which you have little to no knowledge. So it's going to be football. I couldn't claim to be on the same path, conversational path, as someone who's into football, because that just wouldn't be true. And it wouldn't be honest. And it would show a lack of integrity. So I'm not pretend to be a huge football fan, or if they're a fan of, say, some random club like, is it Bradford City? I'm not sure if they have it. Bradford, by the way, is a place in the north of England. If they have a football club, I think they do, but I'm not sure. Because that's not me. And the person I'm talking to would sense that and see I was being disingenuous, and it would all end in tears if it ever got that far. So hence I take a parallel path approach. So I'm going the same direction, but on a parallel path. I'm sort of next to them. But what it makes them feel, this is metaphorically speaking, what it makes the person with whom I'm speaking feel is the fact that I'm relating to them. And I do this by asking a whole stack of questions to glean enough information. So as the conversation, as we go along this parallel path conversation, I can actually maybe, once I've asked enough questions, got enough interesting information, maybe begin to relate it to my limited football experiences and or to the football experiences and observations I've made of friends and others I know, and then relate it back to them so we have a conversation about something they're passionate about, they care about. So for instance, I could say, so Bradford City then, why do you support Bradford City? Why not Man United or Real Madrid or one of these other big clubs? And then they could rant about how they're big, huge sporting Goliaths where it's all about marketing and money and not so much about football. And they could say something along the lines of, I'm making this up now, Bradford City is all about the traditional values of sport and football, both on and off the pitch. And I'm not even into football, but you can see the way I speak about it, that actually, yeah, you could have a really interesting conversation. Then they could be talking about, I don't know, the fact there's a new team strip and, a new team haircut and even a new team strategy on the field where they actually, turn up and win. So, and from there you can have all sorts of amazing conversations. But you make them feel special. You bring out the best in them. And when you bring out the best in them, they'll be more readily and happily and positively disposed towards you. And from there, you can, from having a great conversation, you can develop maybe a good relationship or a foundation for a good relationship, and therefore an even stronger foundation for creating all sorts of wonderful opportunities. There's no guarantee. But unless you take the parallel paths conversation technique or the other two in the life impact system, the chances are the conversation may go nowhere. But in this way, it will go somewhere, and somewhere which could be great for both of you. Thanks for watching this episode of Life Impact TV. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you like this channel, then please subscribe via the link on this screen to make sure you get the tips, the thoughts and techniques that you want. And please share it. Ideally, shout about it to your family, your friends and your colleagues. I'd really, really appreciate it, as I hope they would too. And if you want access to even more great resources to give you the proven confidence, communication and personal impact skills you need to help you achieve the personal and professional success you so want, then go now to life-impact.co.uk. And finally, remember this. Even a little daring in your life can pay you much, much greater rewards. What you need to decide is simply what you want to achieve to make you feel truly fulfilled. And as you often discover, how little you have to dare to make this happen. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on Life Impact TV.